It is 7:30 in the morning, and the kitchen smells like coffee and warm bread, just like it has for the past 40 years of your life. You open the spice cabinet looking for cinnamon to sprinkle on your oatmeal, and there it is, sitting in the back corner, forgotten and dusty. A small jar of cloves that has been there so long, you cannot even remember the last time you actually used it for anything other than decoration. But what if I told you that this tiny brown seed, which millions of people around the world ignore every single day, holds healing power so real and so potent that one elderly patient who started chewing just one clove a day experienced changes in his body that left even his own doctor completely speechless? Millions of people over 55 are living with chronic inflammation, gum disease, unpredictable blood sugar swings, and digestive discomfort every single day. Could a spice you already have in your kitchen, sitting there right now, be silently offering your body exactly what it needs to fight back against all of that? Stay with me until the very end, because what science has discovered about this humble little seed will change the way you think about your health forever. Before we go any further, I need to be very clear with you. This video is not telling you to replace any medication your doctor has prescribed for you right now. If you are taking blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin daily, or if you have active ulcers, you need to talk to your doctor before trying anything new like this. If this information is already opening your eyes, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications right now. It really helps. Share this with someone in your family who struggles with inflammation, gum problems, or blood sugar issues. It could truly change their life in ways they never imagined. Here is what most people do not understand about cloves. They are not just flavor, they are medicine disguised as spice, and science has the proof to back that up. Inside every single clove lives a compound called eugenol, and this substance has been shown in clinical studies to fight inflammation, kill harmful bacteria, and even numb pain. Think of eugenol as a tiny soldier that patrols your mouth, your digestive system, and even your bloodstream, attacking invaders and calming down fires of inflammation. Most people believe that if something is natural and cheap, it cannot possibly be as powerful as a prescription drug, but science has already proven the exact opposite here. Researchers tested the antioxidant capacity of dozens of common spices in laboratories around the world, and cloves came out on top, by a massive margin, beating everything else. And what scientists found next surprised even the doctors themselves. People who consumed cloves regularly showed measurable improvements in blood sugar control and liver protection. This is not about age, this is about consistency. Even if you are 70 or 80 years old, your body can still respond powerfully to the right natural compounds. So go to your spice cabinet right now, find that jar of cloves and bring it with you, because I'm about to show you exactly what happens inside your body when you use it. Effect number 1, immediate improvement of breath and oral health by fighting the bacteria responsible for cavities, gum disease, and that persistent bad smell. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 72-year-old woman who had been struggling with bleeding gums and constant bad breath for years, despite brushing twice a day. Her dentist kept telling her to floss more, but nothing seemed to work, until one day she read about cloves and decided to chew one after breakfast every single morning. Within 2 weeks, the bleeding stopped completely. Her breath became fresher than it had been in decades, and her dentist asked her what on earth she had started doing differently. Here is the mechanism. Eugenol in cloves is a powerful antimicrobial agent that kills the specific bacteria that live in your mouth and cause plaque, cavities, and gum inflammation. It works like a natural disinfectant, but without the harshness of chemical mouthwashes that can dry out your mouth and kill good bacteria along with the bad ones. Studies published by dental research institutions confirm that clove oil and whole cloves reduce bacterial colonies in the mouth by up to 70% within just a few days. But here is the critical safety warning. If you have extremely sensitive teeth or recent dental work, chewing whole cloves might cause temporary discomfort at first, so go slowly. Let the cloves soften in your saliva for a minute or two before you start chewing it. This makes the process much gentler and more comfortable for people with delicate gums. Do not chew more than 2 cloves a day, because too much eugenol can irritate the lining of your mouth and stomach if you overdo it without building up tolerance first. Your mission is simple. After your next meal, take 1 whole clove, place it in your mouth, let it soften, then chew it gently for 3 to 5 minutes and spit it out. At your next dental checkup, ask your dentist this exact question. Could natural antimicrobials like clove help reduce the bacterial load in my mouth and improve my gum health long term? You will be surprised how many dentists are now recommending cloves as a complementary tool for oral hygiene, especially for patients over 55 with recurring gum problems. This first effect alone is worth trying cloves for. But what comes next is where things get even more interesting, so stay with me, because we are just getting started here. If you are already thinking about someone in your family who complains about bad breath or bleeding gums all the time, send them this video right now. It could change everything. Effect number 2. natural relief of tooth pain and gum sensitivity through the gentle anesthetic action of eugenol, which has been used for this purpose for thousands of years. Eugenol does not just kill bacteria, it also blocks pain signals at the nerve level, which is why dentists have used clove oil for emergency toothache relief for generations. Think of it like this. When you chew a clove, the eugenol coats your gums and teeth, creating a temporary numbing effect that calms down inflamed nerves almost immediately. I remember reading about a patient named Robert, an 80-year-old man who had been waiting weeks for a dental appointment because of severe pain in his lower molar area. He could barely eat solid food, and over-the-counter painkillers were not doing much to help him get through the day without constant discomfort and frustration. A friend told him to try chewing a clove on the painful side of his mouth, and within 10 minutes the sharp stabbing pain had reduced to a dull ache he could actually tolerate. He continued doing this twice a day until his appointment, and when the dentist finally examined him, the inflammation around the tooth had decreased significantly compared to the initial visit. The mechanism here is fascinating. Eugenol binds to pain receptors in your gums and teeth, temporarily blocking the transmission of pain signals to your brain without affecting anything else. This is not a permanent solution for serious dental problems, but it is an incredibly effective temporary relief tool while you wait for professional treatment or during recovery. Here is the critical warning though. Never use cloves as a substitute for seeing a dentist if you have a serious infection, abscess or broken tooth that needs immediate attention. Cloves can mask pain temporarily, but they cannot fix structural damage or deep infections that require antibiotics or surgical intervention, so do not delay necessary dental care. If you are using cloves for pain relief and the pain suddenly gets worse or you develop fever or facial swelling, stop using them and see a dentist immediately, no exceptions. Your mission is this. If you have tooth sensitivity or mild gum pain, try chewing one clove on the affected side for 5 minutes after meals and see how your body responds. At your next dental visit, ask your dentist, is it safe for me to use whole cloves as a temporary pain relief tool between appointments if I experience sudden tooth sensitivity? Most dentists will tell you yes, as long as you are not allergic to eugenol and you are not using it to avoid necessary treatment, it is a safe and effective natural option. Effect number 3, improvement of digestion and reduction of gas, bloating and heartburn. 3 of the most common and frustrating complaints people over 55 deal with daily. As we age, our digestive system naturally slows down, stomach acid production changes, and the muscles that move food through our intestines become less efficient than they used to be. Cloves stimulate the production of digestive enzymes, increase saliva flow, and help your stomach break down food more efficiently, which means less fermentation and less gas buildup. Think of your digestive system like an old engine that needs a little extra spark to run smoothly. Cloves provide that spark by activating the mechanisms that have started slowing down. I came across the story of a woman named Dorothy, 76 years old, who had been suffering from terrible bloating and acid reflux every single night after dinner. She had tried every over-the-counter antacid on the market, but nothing seemed to give her lasting relief, and she was starting to avoid her favorite foods out of pure fear. Someone at her church told her to chew one clove after her evening meal, and she decided to try it even though she was skeptical about something so simple actually working. Within 3 days, the bloating was gone. The acid reflux stopped waking her up at night, and she could finally eat a normal meal without spending the rest of the evening in discomfort. The mechanism is this. Eugenol relaxes the smooth muscles in your digestive tract, allowing trapped gas to move through more easily instead of sitting there causing pain and pressure. At the same time, cloves reduce the production of excess stomach acid while protecting the lining of your stomach from irritation, which is why they help with both bloating and heartburn. But here is the warning. If you have active stomach ulcers or gastritis, cloves might irritate the lining further in some cases, so you need to start very carefully and monitor how you feel. If you experience any burning sensation or increased stomach pain after chewing cloves, stop immediately and talk to your doctor before trying again. Your safety comes first always. Your mission is simple. After your heaviest meal of the day, chew one clove slowly for 3 to 5 minutes. Then spit it out and notice how your digestion feels over the next few hours. Ask your doctor this question at your next visit. Could cloves help improve my digestive enzyme production and reduce the bloating and acid reflux I have been experiencing for months? Effect number 4, strengthening of the immune system through powerful antimicrobial and antifungal action that helps your body fight off infections more effectively as you age. Your immune system naturally weakens after 55, which is why older adults are more vulnerable to respiratory infections, urinary tract infections, and fungal overgrowth issues. Eugenol has been shown in laboratory studies to kill a wide range of harmful bacteria, viruses, and fungi, including strains that are resistant to some conventional antibiotics. Think of cloves as a backup security system for your body, working quietly in the background to eliminate threats before they can multiply and cause serious illness or infection. There was a patient named George, an 83-year-old man who seemed to catch every cold and flu that went around his community, spending weeks recovering each time. His doctor told him his immune system was just weaker because of his age, and there was not much he could do except get his flu shot and hope for the best. George started chewing 1 clove every morning after breakfast, and over the next year, he noticed something remarkable. He stopped getting sick as often as he used to before. When he did catch a cold, it was milder and shorter than usual, and he recovered faster without needing antibiotics or spending days in bed feeling completely miserable. The mechanism is clear. Eugenol disrupts the cell walls of bacteria and fungi, preventing them from reproducing and spreading through your body before your immune system even notices them. It also has antiviral properties that have been studied specifically against respiratory viruses, which is why traditional medicine in many cultures uses cloves during cold and flu season. But here is the important warning: cloves are not a substitute for vaccines, antibiotics, or antiviral medications when you have a serious infection that requires medical treatment right away. If you develop a high fever, severe cough, difficulty breathing, or any signs of a serious infection, do not rely on cloves alone. See a doctor immediately and get proper treatment. Your mission is this: during cold and flu season, chew 1 clove daily in the morning to give your immune system that extra layer of natural antimicrobial protection it needs. At your next checkup, ask your doctor, could adding natural antimicrobials like clove to my daily routine help reduce my risk of recurring infections as I get older and more vulnerable? Effect number 5, reduction of chronic inflammatory processes that affect aging joints, muscles, and tissues, causing the daily pain and stiffness millions of people simply accept as normal. Chronic inflammation is not the same as the acute inflammation you get from an injury. It is a slow-burning fire inside your body that damages cells and accelerates aging silently. This type of inflammation is linked to almost every age-related disease you can think of, from arthritis and heart disease to diabetes, and even cognitive decline over time. Eugenol works by blocking specific enzymes in your body called COX enzymes, the same enzymes that non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs target, but without the harsh side effects on your stomach. Think of inflammation like rust, slowly spreading through your joints and tissues, and eugenol like a protective coating that stops the rust from advancing and damaging everything it touches. I read about a woman named Helen, 79 years old, who had been living with knee pain and stiff fingers for so long, she thought it was just her fate to suffer. She took ibuprofen almost every day, but it upset her stomach terribly, and her doctor was concerned about long-term kidney damage if she continued using it at that frequency. Someone suggested she try chewing cloves twice a day, and although she was doubtful, she decided to give it a try because she was desperate for any kind of relief. After 3 weeks, she noticed her knee pain had decreased noticeably, and her fingers felt less stiff in the mornings when she woke up and tried to button her shirt. The mechanism is this: eugenol reduces the production of inflammatory chemicals in your body called cytokines, which are responsible for the pain, swelling, and tissue damage you feel. It does not work as fast as pharmaceutical drugs, but over time, the cumulative anti-inflammatory effect can make a real difference in how your joints and muscles feel every single day. But here is the critical warning: if you are already taking prescription anti-inflammatory medications or steroids, do not add cloves without talking to your doctor first, ever. Combining natural and pharmaceutical anti-inflammatories can increase your risk of bleeding or stomach ulcers, so you need medical supervision to do this safely and responsibly always. Your mission is this: if you have chronic joint pain or muscle stiffness, try chewing 1 clove twice a day for 3 weeks and keep a simple journal of your pain levels. Effect number 6, help in controlling blood sugar levels, a lesser-known effect that is backed by recent research in people with insulin resistance and prediabetes conditions. After 55, your body becomes less efficient at using insulin, which means glucose stays in your bloodstream longer instead of entering your cells where it is supposed to be used. This leads to energy crashes, constant hunger, weight gain around the belly, and eventually full-blown type 2 diabetes if nothing is done to stop the progression early. Eugenol has been shown in multiple studies to improve insulin sensitivity, meaning your cells start responding better to insulin signals and actually absorb glucose more efficiently than before. Think of insulin like a key that unlocks your cells to let sugar in, and eugenol like oil that makes the lock work smoothly again after years of rust and neglect. There was a patient named Thomas, 74 years old, whose fasting blood sugar had been creeping up slowly for years, sitting in the pre-diabetic range despite dietary changes. His doctor warned him that if his numbers did not improve soon, he would need to start taking metformin, which Thomas really wanted to avoid if there was any other option. He started chewing 1 clove after breakfast and 1 after dinner every single day, and after 2 months his fasting blood sugar dropped by 12 points on his lab results. His doctor was surprised and asked him what he had changed. And when Thomas mentioned the cloves, the doctor admitted that emerging research was showing exactly this kind of effect. The mechanism is fascinating. Eugenol activates certain receptors in your cells that help regulate glucose metabolism and reduce the amount of sugar your liver releases into your bloodstream. It also slows down the breakdown of carbohydrates in your intestines, which means sugar enters your bloodstream more gradually instead of spiking sharply after every meal you eat. But here is the critical warning. If you're already taking diabetes medications like metformin, insulin, or sulfonylureas, cloves could cause your blood sugar to drop too low, which is dangerous. You must monitor your blood sugar closely and work with your doctor to adjust your medication doses if you decide to add cloves to your routine. This is not optional. It is essential. Your mission is this. If you have prediabetes or elevated fasting blood sugar, try chewing 1 clove after your 2 largest meals daily and test your blood sugar levels regularly. Effect number 7, and this is the most surprising one of all, protection of the liver against oxidative stress and possible protective action on the cardiovascular system through reduction of inflammatory markers. Your liver is the organ responsible for filtering toxins, producing cholesterol, and regulating hundreds of metabolic processes that keep you alive every second of every single day. But after decades of exposure to medications, processed foods, alcohol, and environmental toxins, your liver accumulates damage that shows up as elevated liver enzymes and fatty liver disease. Studies have shown that eugenol protects liver cells from oxidative damage caused by free radicals, and it even helps regenerate damaged liver tissue in animal models over extended periods. At the same time, researchers found that people who consume cloves regularly have lower levels of inflammatory markers in their blood, which are strongly linked to heart disease risk. Think of your liver like a filter in an air conditioner. After years of use, it gets clogged and dirty, and eugenol helps clean that filter so it can work efficiently again. I came across the story of a man named Edward, 81 years old, whose routine blood work showed elevated liver enzymes and high triglycerides despite taking statin medications. His doctor was concerned and ordered an ultrasound, which revealed mild fatty liver disease, a condition that affects millions of older adults and often goes completely unnoticed. Edward started chewing 2 cloves daily, 1 after breakfast and 1 after dinner, and after 4 months, he repeated his blood work and the results shocked everyone involved. His liver enzymes had dropped back into the normal range, his triglycerides had decreased by 30 points, and the ultrasound showed less fat accumulation in his liver than before. The mechanism is this. Eugenol reduces lipid peroxidation in liver cells, which is the process that damages cell membranes and leads to inflammation, scarring, and eventual liver failure. It also improves the way your liver processes fats and cholesterol, which is why people who use cloves regularly often see improvements in their lipid profiles without changing anything else. But here is the critical warning. If you have severe liver disease, cirrhosis, or hepatitis, do not use cloves without direct supervision from a liver specialist because high doses could worsen certain conditions. Your mission is this. If your blood work shows elevated liver enzymes or high triglycerides, talk to your doctor about adding cloves and retest your levels after 3 to 4 months consistently. If you have been chewing cloves daily for several weeks and you are not seeing any improvements in your symptoms, it does not mean you failed, it means your body is trying to tell you something. There could be underlying conditions like severe vitamin deficiencies, undiagnosed infections, or autoimmune disorders that need professional medical attention beyond what any natural remedy can address alone. If you experience any allergic reactions like swelling of the lips or tongue, difficulty breathing, or severe stomach pain after using cloves, stop immediately and seek emergency medical help right away. Other warning signs that require a doctor visit include persistent high blood sugar despite dietary changes, unexplained weight loss, chronic fatigue that does not improve, or bleeding gums that worsen instead of healing. Here is your simple step-by-step plan. Start with 1 whole clove after your largest meal of the day. Let it soften in your mouth for 2 minutes, then chew it gently for 3 to 5 minutes. After 1 week, if you tolerate it well, add a second clove after another meal. But never exceed 2 cloves per day unless a healthcare professional specifically advises you otherwise. If chewing is difficult because of dental issues, you can make clove tea by steeping 2 whole cloves in hot water for 10 minutes, then drinking it slowly after meals instead. At your next doctor visit, bring this list of questions with you. Could cloves interact with my current medications, especially blood thinners? Should I monitor my blood sugar more closely if I start using cloves daily? And could cloves help reduce my need for anti-inflammatory drugs over time? These questions will give you the clarity and safety you need moving forward with confidence. I once read a book about traditional medicine practices around the world, and one chapter described how grandmothers in certain cultures always kept cloves in their pockets to chew throughout the day. The author asked one of these women why she did this, and she said something I will never forget. She said, "Small things done every day become big things over a lifetime." That sentence stayed with me because it captures exactly what we are talking about here. One tiny clove seems insignificant, but consistency transforms it into real measurable change over time. Health is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in the small choices you make every single morning when no one is watching. And that is where true transformation actually happens. Remember that dusty jar of cloves sitting in your kitchen cabinet at the very beginning. Now you know exactly what it can do, and that knowledge changes everything starting today. Do not wait until your body sends you a signal you can no longer ignore. If this video helped you see something you had never noticed before, please like it, share it with someone you love who needs to hear this, and watch the 2 videos on your screen right now to keep protecting your health every single day. One small step at a time, because that is how real change happens. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. Take care of yourself, take care of the people you love, and I will see you very soon with more information that can truly make a difference in your life.